want captions. Where are you? Like, I want you in front of my face. I need to wear those special glasses, like those AR glasses, but just so I can see captions popping up in front.
Say that again. I didn't have my subtitles on.
I didn't have my subtitles on. Hey, can you repeat that real quick? Sorry, I need to put. For some reason, while we're talking, like, I need to see better. Here, let me just put this on real quick. David, hold on. I can't really understand what you're saying. Let me just put my glasses on. Okay. And just have it dumb down everything. He says, when he speaks too eloquently, like, that way I can understand all of it.
I'm sorry, I was speaking in mulatto.
Oh no. I know how it feels. I was speaking in Caucasio.
Yes.
Favorite term to do with any of that. What in the caucasity? Whenever you're like, what in the audacity? What in the caucasity?
Oh, let me switch over to white speech. Hello, how are you doing, my friend?
How are you today? Are you feeling well?
I need to send you guys I don't know if you've ever seen it, but when Eddie Murphy was on Saturday Night Live, he did a skit in which he dressed up like a white man. And he said one of the important things is the white man walk. You have to really tighten your butt up because he said they're always real tight asses. So
yeah. It's crazy that he now actually just impersonates a white man on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
It's as if, like, the gag, it's so real for him.
He did some method acting and got stuck like that.
He did some meth acting. Forgot who he was for a little while.
Okay, so just let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Hold on, Danny! Hold on! All right. I'm ready.
Okay. So, a little bit of a recap, as you asked for. So, we go back about a week for your characters, and a young man by the name of Atsutada, scarred from a disease in his youth, arrived at Castle Minroku of Kosaka, owned by Shing's parents. He was sent by the headman, Shozo, an old friend and priest who once lived in the Tetsu no Ki temple. Atsutada explained that more than a half dozen people from the Shadow District have gone missing, and they believe that something supernatural is involved. And Shozo was thinking of getting help from a Sohei, and so, which is where you came in, Chiasa. So the two of you traveled without any events, any notable events, to the city of Matsuda and entered the Shadow District, so named because most of the residents there are outcasts. Some examples of the outcasts were lepers, Chiasa's favorite, those who work as corpse movers, and a number of foreigners as well. Shing and Chiasa did some investigating, utilizing some money to loosen some tongues, and finally found a man by the name of Otomoru, the stable hand, as you recall, who facilitated a meeting between you, our intrepid demon hunters, and a Yakuza brother. So shortly after, and also after being dolled up yourselves, Eiji, along with his Yakuza brother and sister, not by blood, but Yakuza brothers and sisters, Arimono and Kageki, you guys that evening were hunting for signs of whomever had been abducting people from the entertainment district. Shing and Chiasa discovered a creature lurking on the roof of a nearby building during your investigation, and you chased him, caught him with a little bit of fanfare as Shing had used those flaming wings, and Chiasa, you scrambled up, being the dexterous Nezumi that you are. And after you'd captured him, this Bakemono, a goblin, named Baisetsu, you questioned him. Baisetsu did say that he had some information. He finally came forward, as he was only basically a thief, you discovered, mostly stealing food. But he knew of a woman who he believed to be not fully human who had been abducting people. So he led you to a geisha house. Shing went in as a client to speak with the geisha within, met Mistress Noriko, and asked for the most exotic looking geisha there, as Baisetsu had mentioned that the woman there did not look exactly normal and that you would know her when you saw her. Chiasa infiltrated the uppermost floor of the geisha house via a window, and after a little, not much searching at all, found a wardrobe with a human skin and a wig. So a few minutes later, Mistress Noriko was introducing Shing to Umako, a woman with violet-colored eyes, fingernails, and some highlights in her hair. Chiasa, who had sneaked down while Mistress Noriko was going to get Umako, leaped out from behind a fountain in the tea room and threw the skin and wig down, accused Umako of being a shapeshifter. Shing utilized a bead of force that he threw at his own feet, thankfully avoiding being trapped inside the sphere, the sphere of force with Umako. Questioned her, and since it lasted for 10 minutes, it was more than enough time, as you excitedly told Mistress Noriko to go get the Yakuza. It gave more than enough time for the Yakuza to show up so that when the sphere of force dropped, they were able to capture her using silver chains that held the yokai in place. Not long after, you were questioning the yokai inside of one of the underground Yakuza strongholds and found out that the abductees were underground in a natural cavern with a waterfall. And of course, refer to the first video for that fight that ensued there. After killing Umako and the individual that she referred to vaguely as her mother, after they were both killed by you guys, primarily by you with a little bit of help from the Yakuza, you decided to remain in Matsuda City so that you could investigate if there were other yokai here, which is what Umako had hinted about, and Baisetsu had as well. And also, you would be able to train here to level up to 7th level. Not that your characters refer to it as 7th level, but you're able to train and learn some new things. Dedicating yourself over the next week and preparing for the possibility of facing some even greater challenges and threats to the people of Matsuda. So, here we are.
Nice.
Can I just say something real quick?
I suppose you can, of course.
First off, that was fantastic. Well done. Well done. Second off, I feel like I, more than Tristan, although you do kind of join in with it, we operate like a procedural crime drama where we're constantly picking the wrong person only to find out that the right person was someone we had no idea who they were. And we still end up looking like idiots. Somehow, but we get our man or woman.
Or monster.
Scientific method.
It's a scientific method. Always blame everyone. Because they might have done it. And if they didn't, the next person might have done it. And if they didn't, then the next person might have done it.
Well, the first time that you encountered something, it was that man who
who I wanted to kill,
was worried that his curse had passed on to the woman that he loved, which was true. But the way he portrayed it was that, oh, it was this terrible thing, and that she was cursed, and he wanted your help to fix her. But he did not want that at all. He wanted you guys essentially to be food for his betrothed, as he was a ghoul, and the curse as it had been passed to her, made her not just a ghoul, but something a little extra. And the other individuals who had been with whom he had shared his curse essentially just turned into zombies, walking, rotting dead. So that made the two of you a little leery to trust anyone right after that. So when it came to at least Atsutada, it wasn't that you distrusted him. It was Chiasa was upset with the obvious scarring from a disease. But so yeah, really that's up to you if you want to trust someone or not trust someone. But it is understandable, and knowing that there are yokai out there and that they can sometimes disguise themselves. There are enough stories about that, like the slit-mouthed woman, for example, when she walks up and asks, "Am I beautiful?" and reveals her face, and you see that she has more of a slit mouth with no lips. If the person says, "Yes, you are beautiful," then she slashes their face so that they look just like her.
Oh.
And if they say, "No, you're not beautiful," then she just kills them.
Yes.
So either way, you are not getting out of that without some damage or death.
But then AG shoved 4 of his hard inches inside of her, and then I shoved 4 of my hard inches inside of her sister.
Yes, the 4-inch silver nail, Jeff.
Bulbous, as you said before.
It was like I remember Stephen Fry said one time when he was younger, and he asked a woman, he said, "So, how would you like 8 inches?" And she said, "I would like it a lot." And he said, "Good, as long as you don't mind it in 2 installments."
This is going to take a while.
So, and we leveled you guys up last time, so you're now pleasantly 7th level. Now, you did say that you wanted to remain here to keep your ears to the ground, so to speak, concerning any sites of yokai or other dangers here. And I don't know if you are seeking anything else to purchase items, anything like that, which we can take care of that in short order as well. So essentially, you are here in Matsuda with no pressing quests on you. No requests have been made of you. So, and you would be Shozo has volunteered to. He will allow you. Master Shozo will allow you to stay in his home if you wish.
Nice.
The only thing is, if you will pay for food, that's all.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And so long as there's no lepers there.
No lepers hanging out.
No, there can't be any.
You wake up in the morning and there's 5 or 6 lepers sleeping in the same room as you.
It's like The Hangover.
Oh no, they're all Zach Galifianakis. So I guess what I would. So I'm thinking we would go straight back because as we're leaving this cave and stuff. I don't know. Would you have said much on our way out of this cave, this waterfall cave, or whatever?
I think we're long past being out of the cave.
Well, I know. We were leaving and everything. We just didn't say whether or not we had any dialogue on our way out. Were we just kind of quiet? I feel like she would have been somber in that moment. She would have been very stout because she's not necessarily. She doesn't have a full bloodlust for things, but when it comes to killing demons, Oni, she's she almost
you
can't
were
get enough of it.
Quite vicious in how you spoke to her, and then slew her while she was, albeit a yokai, a bad yokai that was preying on people. But yes, you were quite vicious in your tone and how you killed her. But at least you did not torture her.
Yes, I see. That's the thing about what she also did. She kept to her word. She said she would kill her quickly, even though she didn't actually assist in getting her sister to come and and to make it so that no one got hurt. No one really did get hurt, so she died quickly.
And you did save a few people.
Yes, and so both sisters died fast. So yeah, I honored a debt. So she's feeling like still kind of coming down off the key frenzy and stuff, and she's feeling kind of not necessarily proud, but she has that determination within her that she has her resolve reinforced once again.
Nice.
What's up with Shane?
I'm holding.
Go ahead.
I'm holding my new small pillow as we walk out of here.
I forgot about that.
But yeah, just another good day of demon slaying.
Fantastic. All right, yeah. So that's what we did, and I would like to head straight back because they're kind of like closer. I kind of want to head over to the Yakuza and meet up with the AG, and also with the guy who was the brother of the stable boy, because he was the one who hooked us up with the Yakuza in the first place.
Yes.
And maybe also clear up the little misunderstanding with the madam of the house. Maybe explain to her the whole skin thing and all that, just so that she doesn't have any misconceptions about what we were doing there. I'm sure the Yakuza did, but I'd like her to hear our side of the story.
Speak with the geisha mother?
Oh, yes. When I say madam, I know she's not like a whore. It's not a whorehouse. She's not like the head bitch. I'm just saying, like, I just prefer to call her that. That's all. Because she's a madam and she's the head of the house. So.
No, that term wouldn't even be used. I mean, even in a translation, it would not be utilized that way.
So yeah, she's a madam.
So, well, after dialing it back a little bit, so after coming out of the cavern, this would be something around 3:30 in the morning. So your characters, I assume, are probably not going to go knocking on people's doors trying to speak to them now.
Well, the Yakuza were getting ready for stuff, right?
Oh, they have some other things to do, yes, because there's some Yakuza working around the clock. There's always some of the brothers and sisters are doing something at some point all the time, it seems. But that does not involve you.
All right. I do say to Xing, as we're coming out of the cave and everything, I do nudge you on the arm and I say, those Yakuza were very impressive.
Yes, very cool indeed.
It might be worth actually hiring a couple of them to protect your castle.
As much as I would love to see them again, I do not think my castle needs help protecting.
Well, I mean, with the news that something very vile could be going on within my temple, it might be useful to have a few more allies around.
Sure.
So she's now thinking to herself about what was said before. Could you tell me that quote one more time? It was the evil from within my home will consume my temple, or how did that go?
That's essentially, yes, that evil within your own ranks will consume your temple.
Okay, and then I guess we're gonna go back to. So I'm cool with going back to Shozo's place.
Yes, I'd like to make it back in time for the festival.
And I say, you're always obsessed with parties.
They are quite fun.
Yes, but you're. She just sighs. And she just heads off. She's keeps walking forward.
So, yes, and there's always something in the entertainment district going on as well. So, at least one or two drinking establishments would be going on. And the fireworks and the little parades, things like that, are not going on now, but there is always something going on, even some late night gambling, cards, dice, those sorts of things. So, if you're looking around enough in the entertainment district, you might be able to find something. Or you can rest, whichever.
Could I maybe just do a passing perception?
What are you trying to discover?
If there is actually anything genuinely interesting that would that she also would think might be useful in some way, piece of information she might be hearing. Maybe she spots something with her eye glance as she's passing by. Just anything like that. And whatever roll you want me to make for that stuff.
Roll a d20, yes.
Okay. What modifier can I use?
Let's do charisma.
Ow. Like literally, ow. So a 5.
Oh.
That's why I said ow. If it was a perception, I would have had at least 11, but that's fine.
As you're searching around and information is being sucked out of your brain, then
my eyes are crossed and my nose starts to bleed.
Yeah, okay. So, essentially, you check about every half hour when someone's doing something like that. So, after about a half an hour of wandering around, listening to the few people who are still out, wandering into a drinking establishment in which you can see a number of people are either passed out at tables. Not much going on in there. Maybe a few guys dicing in a corner, but not discussing anything of any interest to you.
What are the dicing? Tomatoes, onions. What are the dicing?
No, there is a game. I forget what it's called actually, but the dice that we utilize for role playing, by the way, come from dice that the ancient Greeks used. So, and there is a game in which one person rolls. Like, for example, if I'm the house, I'm going to take 2 20-sided dice and roll them. And let's say I get an 18 and a 12. Your job is to roll a 1d20 and get in between. So get from a 12 to the 18 that I rolled. If someone rolls, say, 2 9s, you're in trouble unless you roll a 9. That's worse. If I were to roll as the house, if I rolled a 2 and a 20, you're great unless you roll a 1. So that's how you bet. There's numerous games you can use for these various dice. So
is Greek mythology just some ancient nerds homebrew setting?
Yes, absolutely. It was
like convinced people that everything they came up with was real.
All right, Hippocrates, go ahead and roll your d20. Okay, I'm going to roll my d20. Okay, so this fable is real, and that one.
All the deities were actual PCs at one point. They just became epic level, and then became deities.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, my character's so strong now, it's going to live on forever.
Wait, how many of you are in this horse? All right, all of you roll stealth.
All right, all Oh, wow. Look at all those nat 20s.
And their bard was obviously Zeus because he bangs everything.
Oh, my God. God.
Yeah.
Hades was just a fucking sorcerer that everyone hated.
All right then. So yeah, nothing of interest to Chiasa. Just those guys playing dice. And,
Do I get one more roll?
Things are dying down so much now that by this point, yeah, we're talking it's after 4 a.m.
Oh God.
Yeah. Like I said, by the time you guys came out, it was almost 3:30 in the morning. So now, after you wandering around about half an hour trying to see and figure out, yeah, your character's fairly tired. You've been in a battle, and it's after 4 a.m. now. So the sun will be rising in a couple of hours. So
okay. So I say to Jing, listen, Jing, if you want to go around and look at some stuff or watch a parade or some crap or whatever you want to do, go ahead, because I actually do need to go rest real quick, and I don't think you really sleep much anyways.
I'm actually pretty tired as well, but I don't think the festival will be happening until tonight, or I don't remember when it is, but I would like to see it.
She hangs her arm hangs her arms like down from her shoulder area, and she's like slumping over now, looking all just worn out after this past like half hour or so.
She is what, 19? So yeah, it's like
yeah. she's got that teenage tiredness going on now. Yeah, so yep, I'm gonna head over to Shozo's.
Me too.
Okay, well, so easily enough, you enter. No one accosts you or bothers you when you wander in, which of course lets you know that someone could easily go into their home and cause some problems. But
I tiredly close their front, because they have like a front sliding door, right?
Yes.
I tiredly close it and find like a stick to prop in it so it can't be opened from the outside.
That's generally what they use. You set a pole into the little slide at the bottom.
And then I'm going to put my Tetsubo in it too.
Okay.
Just to really reinforce that sucker.
Does not quite fit, but you can wedge it in there.
She's like tiredly like, and then she goes slumping back over, heading towards some kind of bed to lay on. Or mat.
Well, yeah, there's a guest room. Actually, it's just inside the main room and to the right. So a couple of mats in there where you can both share the room.
It's like a barren room with like cockroaches and stuff. I'm just kidding. It's just imagine it's like a shit hotel. All right.
No, it's fairly clean.
Right, so I
we
say,
try luck with the leper hotel.
No. she like darts her head at you when you say that. There will not be any lepers. Okay?
Well, it is not my home, so I cannot promise that.
Yeah, you're going to keep an eye out.
Right after you say that, I put my pillow down, I put my face in it, and take a rest.
Your face, that's right. You put your he sleeps in his fancy pillow. Okay. All right. And I just kind of collapse onto the other mat in the room.
A rat on a mat.
Rat on a mat, bro. A ninja rat on a mat.
All right. So, well, you sleep until you both smell some food being prepared. You can tell it's probably some sort of bean paste and rice that is steaming.
Dude, she doesn't care. She eats modestly anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, by the time you smell the food, you would have only been asleep for maybe 4 hours or so. looking outside, estimating from the sunlight, though it is mostly cloudy today, but still a bit of sun. You can tell it's probably between 8 and 9 in the morning. So Shozo does not have a clock in here, but most people don't because they are expensive. But so yeah, food is being prepared. Some spicy bean paste and fried fish. So.
All right. So I'm not going to get up, but I am going to take, because I'm really hungry, but I also don't want to have to give in to my primal urges and get out of bed so I can sleep longer. So I take one of my 6 sweet rice cakes and I just shove it into my face. And I want to go back to sleep.
All right. Well, that's easy enough. No one comes to bother you. What are you going to do, Xing? Is you do not need to get as much sleep as a biological individual. So
when I wake up, I'm going to look to see if Chias is awake.
no, she is not.
Then I will follow the scent of the food and enjoy the company of others.
Okay. Well, Shozo and Atsutada are out here, as well as a young woman. Probably not much more than a girl. Looks like she's probably younger than Chiasa. But yeah, they have some jajang. So some of the spicy bean paste, like I said, the rice and some fried fish that the girl is making with Atsutada. And they give you a little bowl full of food.
Oh, hello, everyone. Thank you. And I take the bowl.
Yep. Shozo says, "Good morning. I hear you were successful in saving a number of people."
Yes, it was quite the goose chase, as they say.
He says, but at least you succeeded.
Yes,
that is saying something.
Yes, I am happy that we were successful.
He says, do you think that the danger is ended then?
As far as I can tell, although the mother did give Chiasa a ominous warning. It seemed a little personal to her.
Some might say a foreshadowing.
Well, you are in chapter 2 from Out of the Shadows. So, well, Shozo says, well, if the majority of the danger is past, or all of it, well, I hope that you will be safe in the future, regardless. And I thank you again. Everyone here will be thankful, even if they do not thank you personally.
I just bow lightly to everyone.
Yep. Well, so you sit there and do your, as you've been trained to pretend to eat.
Yes.
Out of civility. But so you speak about some innocuous things with Shozo Atsutada, and the girl, she leaves. But you speak with the two of them. After probably an hour, you have discovered from Shozo where a Wu Jin lives here in the city that you might be able to learn something from.
Aha.
Yes. Her name is Akana Kiku.
All right.
He
I think
says she has, as far as he knows, uh, she does not take on apprentices, but she has met with other Wu Jin and other people in the past, and some individuals in the city, some officials, have spoken with her, asking questions here and there. She does charge for her time, though.
I see. I see. I would like to meet with her as soon as possible.
Well, he tells you that Atsutada could probably lead you there if you like. And the young man, he does nod. Yes, I know exactly where her home is.
I would be most
He says,
grateful. Thank you.
he says, from what I've heard, just to speak with her alone, just to have some time with her, is 5 Chien.
I see, and I look into my bag. I think that can be arranged.
So, all right. Aside from that, then this is about the time, Chiasa, you wake up and you feel a little better as you've slept another hour-ish.
Okay. I scurry awake because I feel like I'm oversleeping. Like I have that moment of like coming out of a daze. I'm just like, yeah. And I like dart awake, and I immediately gather myself, check my things on me, and then I go to collect my Tetsubo on the way to meet with Shozo.
Okay. Well, your Tetsubo is now sitting, it is resting against the wall by the doors.
Very good.
But yes, and then you are offered the same to eat some breakfast if you like. Bean paste, rice, and fish.
I didn't think that someone might use it to possibly clean a toilet or something, so I'm glad no one did. It's the shit stick. Okay, yeah. So I sit. I come in and I say, good morning, Master
Good morning,
Shoso."
Chiasa.
Oh, and good morning to you as well, Shane.
Yes, good morning.
I give a bow to you, but I wasn't gonna bow at you. She like gives an awkward bow to both of you now. And she says, I'd like to have a word with you in private, Master Tetsubo. Or Shozo. Sorry. I called him my weapon.
I should have cut you off again. What for?
Well, he says, of course. Atsutada asks you, Shing, would you like to go now, Master?
Please. And I follow him.
Okay. Well, so the two of you walk out. As you, Chiasa, yes, you see Atsutada and Shing get up and leave.
Okay.
But leaving you here with Master Shozo, the fat and you could almost say corpulent. He's not as large as the Baron from Dune, but he's a fairly hefty individual and elderly. So.
He's a big chubba bumpkins.
But he just smiles at you and he says, "Yes, what would you like to know, young Sohei?"
It's not so much just what I'd like to know. It's more that there is an imminent threat upon my temple. And I begin to say exactly what Jing had already said to him, but in a little bit more detail as much as I can.
Okay. Well, when you tell him that, do you think that it is a real threat or the words of an evil being, as this yokai to sow discord?
It feels like the creatures of the darkness and forces of a foreboding evil are becoming more frequent. And it's not escaping the normal realm anymore. They're amongst us more than I'm used to, and I feel something is very wrong. This happened once before, and I explained also what had happened with the ghoul man as well, and how he spoke of his family.
Right. Yep. Shozo says, "It is true." He says, "In my years, I have seen that sometimes, like the War of Dragons 25 years ago, and even before that, 10, 15 years before that, there was another war." He says, "And then sometime before that, there was a rise of Oni. Many, many of them. Many demon hunters had to come together, banded together to fight them. It has been some time, but it does seem as if trouble comes to Ryogo in waves. It has been a long time since the War of Dragons, so it is possible that a new wave is rising. The only thing I could say at this point is I am not an experienced demon hunter. I have less experience than you. But from what I have seen, you want to keep your keen ears open. Because if another wave is upon us, you and your friend, well, you may need to seek allies in fighting what might come next."
I bow my head down to him, and I say, "You are indeed correct. But I have need of communicating this to my master with haste. Do you have the ability to send him a message?"
Well, he smiles. He says, "Just recently, an individual came here to the Shadow District. He has, of all things, pigeons, and he uses them to send messages. So it is possible I could get a message to Tetsunoki. We will have to speak with him, though. This Birdman. Perhaps you should speak with him."
So Chiasa, she would kind of lift her head and she'd say, "I would very much like to. Where can I find him?"
Well, he explains to you where this man lives. It's a little bit deeper into the Shadow District. He says you'll want to be careful. The Shadow District is not huge, but he says that he lives in some of the buildings that are a little less intact. Some of the buildings, a couple of the buildings are collapsing. A couple of homes and an old tavern that had some fire damage, but no one has really laid claim to it. And when he came here, he moved into one of those buildings. He's only been here a couple of weeks. So anyway, Master Shozo says, he tells you how to get there. It should only be about a 10, 15-minute walk from here. He says, "I have heard that he values his privacy, though. So perhaps you should find a gift for him. This is how I have discovered over the years to make friends with people, or at the very least, get someone to listen to you."
Maybe I could allow him to rub your Buddha belly. I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
Master Chozo jumps up like Yoda and starts beating you around the head with his
tummy. No. So he's gonna sit on me. No. So I say yes. Well, if I have to bring him a gift to Skid Row, then I should. Definitely.
Skid Row.
Yeah, it's basically the Skid Row of the Shadow District. So,
Yeah.
so we say, a weird question, but is there any idea on what he might prefer? Or maybe something you suggest so that I might be on my way?
He says, I know very little about him, but food is often a good gift.
She narrows her eyes and looks to the side. She puts her little rat paw under her rat chin. She says, yes, indeed. I say, well, thank you, Master Sozo. You should come visit sometime. I'm sure my master would love to receive you.
Says, if I can get my old bones up and on a mule, perhaps? Yes.
Oh, the bones. Yes. Yeah. That was her making a slight slide, not an obvious one, but a slight slide on his heft.
Yeah. Well, whether the old man gets it or not, he just smiles.
All right. I bow once more to him, and then I head out towards the Shadow District. Now that it's daytime, I'm more confident, especially since the creature's dead, and now the Yakuza, they kind of helped us out. They were being real G's. So absolutely, she's a lot less scared. She will be avoiding all people who seem like they have some sort of disease or leprosy. But she is absolutely going to head that way. You know, rats have a bad rap for carrying diseases, so she's just going to also avoid other diseased people as well. So yeah, I'm going to head over. I'm going to try to go meet up with AG, like I said before.
All right. Where are you going to go to try to find AG?
I'm going to go back to that building we met up with him, that he led us to.
The little headquarters that you went underground and questioned Umako?
Yes.
Okay. Going back there, you do see outside of the building, leaning against the wall is obviously one of the Yakuza. He has a good sized belly on him, tattooed as well. He's probably about almost 6 feet tall, sturdy looking fellow. And also the stomach you're gathering is probably more muscle than fat. But he's dressed all in black and really dark blue. His hair
muscle.
is,
oh, that's hardcore.
Yeah. So he could be a sumo wrestler.
Yep.
He has the sides of his head are actually shaved, and then he has the rest of his hair is in the little from the top and back is in a little top knot though. And he looks at you, just eyes you.
I say,
Hello,
Mizumi. I say, hello. I am looking for AG.
AG. Then he looks to the side and he looks back at you. Wait, are you the rat girl that brother AG went with to fight some yokai last night?
I have to say,
Go ahead.
Are you the rat girl that nailed that mother?
yes, I am. So I nod to him and I say, well, yes, but let's not try to blow it up too much. I might blush.
Well, he winks at you as more like a not in a flirtatious way, but he just winks at you and he says, "I'm not certain if I could tell if you were blushing, but I'll go see if he's awake. How's that?"
I whisper under my breath, "Oh, you absolutely could." And I say, very well.
Well, he steps through the door, and much more like a door that we're accustomed to, on hinges, and he closes it behind him. And you wait out here in the street. As I said earlier, it is mostly cloudy. Right now, it is fully cloudy, and you feel the first few drops of rain. And you can tell it's definitely getting a little chillier. As I'd said, when you guys first encountered the ghoul a few weeks ago, we were going just into autumn where the leaves were changing. So now you guys you're a good month and a half into autumn. So when it's getting chillier right now, it's good for you to have your fur. Let's put it that way. So you're starting to feel the first little bit of drizzle and a breeze coming through, which is a little chill. But then the door opens. That big guy steps out. AG says you can come in and talk. So go on. Just keep your weapons sheathed, right?
I say, well, I've been able to do so far, so I assume I can continue to do it a little while longer. And I wink at him.
Oh. He says, "Do you like human men?"
I say, she she's like, and covers her mouth, and she's like, well, I don't think I'll be answering that question.
Well, he just shrugs and he's like, "Hey, can't blame a guy for trying."
Yeah, thank you. And I go walking in.
All right, well, you go inside down the stairs and you see a couple of other Yakuza down here. And one of them, a fellow who, right now you can tell just from the way his left arm is a little shiny with like some lotion or something on it or some oils. He must have a brand new tattoo, and as bright as it is, he has a new tattoo. And he doesn't say anything to you, but he just nods to you for you to follow him. He looks like he's probably early 20s, just a little bit of a wispy mustache. You can tell from the way it looks, he cannot quite grow that much facial hair. Some people just don't. But anyway, he leads you past a couple of doorways in this little underground area. Like I said, looks more like a very expanded cellar. But then he knocks on a door, and you hear, "Come in," as he opens the door for you. Doesn't say anything still, but then you see most, like the corridors down here, they're fairly simple, just with some lanterns lit, no decorations or anything. But the inside of this room that you see is immaculate. There are some scrolls hanging on the walls, depicting a mountain scene, another one depicting a large carp leaping out of the water in what looks like the ocean. A full bed rather than a mat in here. In fact, it's you're not even certain what it would be called, but we would call it a 4-poster bed. So it has curtains and the like full on nice bed with the polished wood frame. There's and right now sitting at a small table, you see AG in it looks like his standard yellow, bare chested, and he's drinking some tea.
Ooh,
But and there are also some bookshelves in here with books and scrolls on them, and a few small jade statues here and there. Various things like a dragon, looks like a flying snake, and a couple of foo creatures, a couple of foo lions.
Ooh.
Anyway, and he motions to you. There's a mat on the other side of the little table at which he's sitting, having the tea, and he says, "Chiasa, would you like some tea?"
Not gonna lie, Chiasa, after seeing this man fully nail this other lady, yeah, she's into him. I say, yes. Are you gonna?
So she does like a human man, just not the one outside.
Yeah. I was like trying to passively be kind of cute with that guy, but not like flirty. She was like she's trying to broaden her horizons a little bit now that she's been, opening up more emotionally.
Yeah.
But she doesn't bow, but she gives like a very, like, I don't know, it wouldn't be cute because she's a rat, but she like gives the cutest like rat nod she can.
Yeah.
And she says, AG, are you going to offer me a seat?
Oh, he says, I thought, well, he blinks for a moment and a couple of times. I thought offering you tea was that assumption. Oh, have a seat, Chiasa, please. Welcome to my little sanctum.
And I sit down and I say, yes, a tea would be very lovely right
now. Well, now actually there is if you have performance as a skill, tea ceremony is one of the performances that you can take, and which can improve your standing with certain people if you do it extremely well. So,
and does he like give me tea right now?
Yes, in fact, he goes through the whole process of sets the teacup down, and the way he's pouring it, it's he's showing some definite dexterity in what he's doing, as well as patience and care in how he's pouring it. If you've ever watched a whole ceremony, it's pretty cool.
I've at this point undone my little hand wraps, and I'm like kind of like now massaging my hands a little bit. Just because I usually have them in wraps every day in my garb, with my fingers still exposed, but my palms, everything, and my rear are all covered up. So.
Yeah. All right. So yes, after it takes a good, part of this is being patient, but yeah, after a couple of minutes, yes, you have the steaming tea is sitting in front of you.
I'm gonna try to charm this man. Okay, so I take the tea and I say, "Why, thank you. After a hard battle like I had, which I'm sure your men told you, I do get very thirsty." And I start kind of like doing this little like tongue sip out of it, and I want to try to roll with like slurping in that weird way. I do want to try to roll to try and charm him.
It's the Dimension 20, Jasper. I need you to describe to me what a sexy rat looks like.
Yes. Like she's got her head turned down some. She's got her eye kind of, like very nonchalantly looking at him in that misty-eyed way, in that cutesy way. And she's slurping like with her tongue and also drinking like at a down tilt. So I don't know how well this is gonna go, but what do I roll?
Well, roll a d20 and add any charisma modifier to it.
Okay, can I say that this is profession?
I would say diplomacy, probably.
I do not have diplomacy. So I guess
because that would be the body language and trying to speak in such a way that you're. So yeah.
Okay, so but otherwise, I rolled a 14 plus 1, 15.
Hey.
Okay. All right. Well,
you getting horny yet?
This is what this game's all about.
Well,
I'm gonna drain this man. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He does seem to be a little more amicable. Just speaking with you in the next 10 minutes, just speaking about some inane things, but yeah, the way he's speaking to you, you can tell from his body language and just his tone that he is enjoying speaking with you.
Oh God. It's getting gross. This is getting good.
Jasmine's like, oh God, I'm hot.
She's like, oh my God, I feel so hot right now. She's like, she's instilled with so much confidence. It's all the killing she's done so successfully lately. She looks at him and yeah, she's eyeing him up. She is very, very impressed by him. So she's just making idle chit chat about what transpired the other night, getting to know him a little bit, and then she like if he makes his hand nearly available on the table, like she'll kind of gently reach out and like touch his hand with her hand.
Yeah. Now, to actively touch somebody without asking them first, that is a definite overture in this code. that is pretty much. But yeah, if you touch someone's hand like that you're letting them know right then that you are ready.
No.
Ooh. All right. She touches his hand and she says, before I say anything else or do anything else, I had a request.
Well, he does not pull his hand away. And he says, what's that, Chiasa?
Ah, a man who doesn't pull out. So she she says to him, so it's come to my attention that some dark dealings might be transpiring in my temple, and I would like to potentially hire some help. And I was wondering if I might be able to acquire some help from you and your men.
He says, your temple is some distance away, isn't it?
Yes, but there isn't much of any Yakuza presence in my region, and normally it would be frowned upon, but seeing as how you have proved, and I eye up his chest from his pants all the way up to his head, and I seeing as how you've been proved to be so valuable, I would be greatly appreciative to create such a olive branch.
He says, well, I suppose, since you put it that way, I could be convinced to maybe travel with you to the temple and see what I can see.
Okay, and then I
send one of my brothers or sisters. Why not? How about if I just join you myself? What about that?
Absolutely. And I push the tea off the table and I say, now just kiss me already.
Is she going to do that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we can pick up Chiasa about an hour and a half later.
So let's go over to Zhang. I think we know what's going on there, boys. Let's go ahead and see what this porcelain baby is up to. Very mature girl is.
See, AG is really curious. He's like, oh, it's like in Delicious in Dungeon when Laios, the cat girl, joins him, and everybody's putting their hands over his eyes. And he's like, "Oh, come on!" He's like, because the cat girl. He's like, "I want to know if she has more than two breasts."
Hey,
so AG's going to find out if a Nezumi has more than two.
It's great.
So, all right, Xing. The house that you are led to by Atsutada, and he says he will just wait out here for you. He seems a little nervous as he's looking. It's It's not a huge house, but it is very nice. It has trees planted all around it. Has a little wall, maybe about just a 5 foot stone wall around it. So not really, it's not going to keep out thieves. It's more for show. And it has it's a square house with a porch that runs all the way around it with the polished cherry wood and an overhang so you could sit out there when it's rainy or something like that and be dry, comfortable. There are no chairs or anything out there, but and then the front double doors, the sliding doors, you can see there is a small chain with a bell outside the front door.
Okay, I will go on up to the bell and ring it.
And roll a d20. This is a perception check. So,
Okay.
So technically, right now you're still 6th level, both of you. But
okay. Well, that's going to be another big 5.
no 5. Okay. All right. Well, you ring the bell, and then it is quiet, other than the slight sprinkling that is starting. But yeah, by the time you get here, once it gets fully cloudy, good breeze between about 10 to 15 mile an hour breeziness, getting up to wind, you could call it, and a little chillier, probably mid 50s right now. Not that you feel the temperatures quite the same way most people do. You do start to notice something when the temperatures get down into the 30s. You will start to feel it the same way as a biological individual would, and if it gets over 100. But otherwise, you are like elves in that regard. So temperature between like 40 and 90, no big deal. You're not gonna, and not as if you sweat anyway, and you don't have you cannot produce goosebumps, but it can affect you those more extreme temperatures. But right now, yeah, mid 50s to you is no different than like mid 80s. So,
all right.
After about 2 minutes, the door slides open, but only about 2 inches. And for a moment, you don't see anything, and then you glance down and you see there is a little figure that looks like what?
I just have to say this. It's not the only thing sliding open about 2 inches right about now.
Oh my.
God, these jokes are so good tonight.
So you see a small figure standing in the doorway, but it looks like a normal proportioned person, but is only about 2 feet tall, bald, wearing a voluminous shirt and pants, is barefoot, and he's probably Shenwai rather than a Ryogan. And he just looks up at you. What do you want?
I start getting low so that I can get on my hands and knees. But as I'm going down to bow like that, I'm stumbling on my words. Like, my name is Xing Hong. I am Wu Zhen. I'm looking for a Master Kiku. Another Wu Zhen. And then I bow as low as I can.
Bow and bow and bow and bow. Yeah.
So you're doing a kowtow is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, he just looks at you. When you lift your head a little bit to look at him, he just has his head tilted a little to the side. One of his eyes is narrowed a little more than the other, as if he is not impressed. And he says, "Oh, another Wu Jin. And you wish to speak with Mistress Kiku?
Yes, please.
What do you have to offer?
I pull
the
out
the great and powerful Mistress Kiku. What do you have to offer her for her time, which is important to her? What do you have to offer her?
I pull out 5 Chien.
Well, he looks at that. That will be worth 10 minutes for her to listen to what you have to say. Let's hope that it's good.
Yes, thank you.
He says, also, he holds up a hand. One other thing.
Of course.
Do you think that you might have some magic that is new, unique, different, something that she may not know?
I believe that I do.
Items or spells, either one. Very well, come in. Well, he slides the door, he pushes the door to the side, and seems to have no trouble. I mean, it's a paper door, but being a little 2 foot tall fellow, he seems to have no trouble pushing the door open. He says, come in, come in.
All right. I will walk in.
This is the entry room is relatively sparse in its decorations, but you can see another set of chimes inside here, much more elaborate chimes than outside. Outside is just 3 bells. Inside here are some elaborate chimes just inside. A couple of mats for people to sit and visit with each other. No signs of art or statuary, anything like that. It is very plain. The wood is polished extremely well, though. No scuffs, anything like that. It looks as if this is a brand new house. But he just motions over to one of the mats, a little bit over to the right. To the left, you can see a door that is closed. Straight ahead of you is a hallway that extends off into darkness. And after maybe just a couple of paces back, it is dark enough that you are fairly certain that that is a magical darkness to prevent anyone from seeing what is back there. And to the right side, you can see shelves along the wall, but they are all empty. And then a little forward and right is the little seating area that has 4 mats sitting there on top of a bamboo floor covering.
All right.
So, but he motions to the little seating area. He says, "Have a seat. I shall go see when Mistress Kiku can see you. It may be a little while. I hope you are a patient." Well, he looks you up and down. Ningyo, aren't you? A dull man.
I nod.
I have not seen one of your kind in, a few years. Interesting. Well, he takes a few steps and he stops, turns back about a quarter turn to look at you. I don't suppose you would be willing to give up a body part or two. Not to Mistress Kiku. I'm interested. I would be willing to pay.
He wants to touch you.
I nervously laugh. I don't suppose that I am.
Well, he shrugs. Well, if you're interested in... I do have a wand that allows you to control fire. If you're interested, I would say your left hand for the wand, just so you know.
No, thank
you. Well, anyway, then even though your family, this is within their area, the city, they answer to the Hong family. This guy, this little whatever he is, does not seem to care. But yeah, you wait only about 5 minutes, and then you see or you hear footsteps, just barely, the soft whisper of feet in socks on the floor, and the sound of the little swish swish. It's very similar to your mother and some of the women who live in the castle. The swish of a long kimono on a polished floor. And stepping out of the hallway, you see a woman who is, she's painted up. Let me send you a picture here. But yes, her hair is done up immaculately. Not a single strand is out of place. She has the kimono does fall to her feet, so and pools there. So you tell she's wearing sock feet, but you cannot see them. She has her hands in the sleeves, And she is now makeup, of course, alters things, but the makeup job that she has, the red lips, the eyeshadow, the eyelashes, her hair, she looks, and the quality. I mean, you come from a noble family, so you've actually been to court. You're not that old, but you have been to the imperial court once with your family.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman looks as if she could easily be one of the high-ranking nobles in the court.
Oh, dang.
You can tell the kimono alone is probably worth 100 chien or more. The amount of silk thread that's used, how soft it is, the quality. Yeah, this is a woman. Now, of course, that's not necessarily uncommon for a Wu Jin. Someone could come from the lowest background, but a Wu Jin. Some Wu Jin tend to be really flashy. So she either is a noble or she's happy to live like a noble.
Absolutely.
But she comes around and she looks at you, just with a neutral expression, not angry or anything like that. She says, Hong Xing. Yes. Welcome to my humble home, young nobleman. Well, she moves to a mat, and she looks as if she's more gliding rather than walking, and she kneels down gently and with some care on the mat. And what brings you here, young Xing, if I may call you by your given name?
Yes, thank you. And I do a little bow. I come seeking a spell.
She says, do you come seeking a specific magic? Something that you need to help you? Or for your own simple edification?
Something I need to help me. Specifically to summon... I don't know how to word this in game, but
Right.
let's just summon monster. But I would I would talk about my desire to summon or to meet the celestial spirits.
A conjuration.
Yes.
You wish to conjure up spirits or yokai that will be helpful to you.
Yes, specifically the zodiac.
Where are you said as you go up in level, you have the zodiac marks kind of appear on you. Where are they on you? Like on your chest or arms?
They show up. Yeah, it starts on the chest, and then it's going to keep there's 12 of them, right? So it's going to keep going. Like I imagine it's going to be. I'm going to be by the time I get all 12, I'm going to be covered in them.
And then and then he's going to invent something they call the yokai watch, and that's how he's going to summon them.
And the first game will be like, the second game is a little better.
Yeah. And then then the last one they ever make, it's going to be released completely in just Japanese.
That will be the super cool one.
That will be the really cool one that everyone wanted to play, but no.
But we won't get it, or you can get it. Like my son, he has some games.
Oh, my son has it
on the PSP that are only in Japanese, but he has guides online that he can. So when he's playing the game, he can just go through it and read it. Mm-hmm. It's like so which is nice, but also a little irksome. Or it would be irksome to me and that's a little much for me to read, to learn. I would just look French and Latin. That's good enough for me. So, all right. Well, Kiku, Mistress Kiku says, I believe I can help you. I suppose the real question is, how will you be able to help me in return?
I was told by did that guy give me his name? I forgot.
Which guy?
The 2 foot one.
Oh, no, he did not.
Okay. I was told by the man that I may trade a spell or magic item in return.
She says, yes. But considering the esteemed guest who sits here before me, what if I were to ask you for a favor as a member of the Hong family in the future? And of course, I assure you that it would be nothing dishonorable, nothing that you would not be able to provide, and nothing that would be considered criminal or dangerous to you or your family.
I think about it for a second.
It's like asking a child a very important question, but you're still asking a freaking child.
yeah. I think about it really hard, actually. And I say, I think that I would like to agree. But to be honest, I was a little excited to show off. And demonstrate what I can do.
She says, well, you did say that you wanted a spell. Perhaps you would want more than one, and we could trade perhaps a favor from Xing Hong in the future, and perhaps we could also exchange magic, some spells or items in addition to the conjuration that you want.
My eyes widen and I say, oh, that would be wonderful.
She says, very well. So, a favor from Hong Xing, as generally they, you use the family name comes first, but from Hong Xing for the conjuration. And what else? Let's see. Let me look at her list of stuff. You'll eventually be able to cast fourth level spells. Okay, she says, what would you feel about being able to transform other people into virtually any organic object that you want? She says you could turn an enemy Bushi into a kitten. She says, or you could turn an attacking Oni into a shrub.
Yes, that sounds incredible.
That is a fourth level spell, polymorph other.
Oh, right.
So, yeah. So she asks what. So you would have to come up with something the equivalent of a fourth level spell. So in your case, probably a third level spell plus an item, or two third level spells would do it.
Okay. Okay, here. I would like to try 2 third level spells that she may not have.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so I pull out a little like clay action figure of my bag, and I put
Made
it
in
on
Shenhua, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. And I put it on the ground.
Okay.
And with my hand on its head, as I lift my hand, the little action figure will grow into a life-size statue. This is Terracotta Warrior.
Okay.
Of Masaharu.
Okay. Cool. She does not have that spell.
Nice. All right. And then I will use Dispel Magic on him.
Okay.
And see if she has that. Another third level spell.
She does have Dispel Magic.
Ah, dang it. Okay. How about well, fire wings? I would warn her though that I'm about to do fire wings. Probably.
She says, I know what that is. She says, and I do not know that personally, but I have seen it in use. The Terracotta Warrior and the Fire Wings, for you allow me to copy those spells, and I will allow you to copy the polymorph.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
figures the cunning man
yeah,
knows the
that will
spells to help
take.
craft him.
Let's see. We'll say now you craft yours on the sticks, right? Or no, stones. Stones. That's
yes, right. Yes.
Okay, so it will take you a little while as you pull out your tools and you begin etching in a couple of the blank stones. It would normally take, it's going to take. Let's see, fourth level spell. It's probably going to take about an hour. So like a first level spell would only probably take you about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. But fourth level spell, it's going to take you about an hour to etch that into the stone. And essentially, it will also cost for tools like the etching tools themselves. It will cost you 10 gold per level of the spell, essentially. So because the stones that you have to have. So 40 gold would be, what would that be? That would be 8 Chien.
All right.
Essentially, you have to get the right stones for this. Do you have the stones, boy? No. Anyway, but you have to have the right stones to do this. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You'll etch it on there, and then it'd be crap. Like if you just went and grabbed a rock, it's not going to work. You need some specific treated stones. Probably they've been stream bed stones. They've been polished, rolled and polished for weeks at a time. If you get into that geology, it takes a long time to fix those things. But anyway, so it takes about an hour, and then it's probably going to take, since she's doing 2 spells, probably about an hour and a half. So in the meantime, the little 2-foot fellow who you might have suspected, because you guys hadn't played it, but kind of in your background, you guys had fought a couple of Poe before, and who had been sicking their tigers on people. This little fellow, he's a Poe.
Oh, nice.
So a little spirit who sometimes they're mischievous. He just seems obnoxious, and he does ask you a couple more times though while he's giving you tea. Are you sure you need that left hand? I'm certain someone else could craft a new one for you, right?
Quite certain. Yes, thank you.
All right. He says, "Well, if you change your mind, you know where I am." All right, so that'd be about the same amount of time. You're both going to be finished at about the same amount of time.
Well, will we
just different tasks?
I had a different goal to reach, but I came to the challenge.
No.
Will we discuss the favor?
I arrived at the same conclusion. What were you going to say, Tristan?
Will we discuss the favor and summon monster afterwards?
What do you want to discuss about it?
Well, if she is gonna teach me summon monster,
yes,
she'll have to tell me what the favor is.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that the deal?
No, just a favor.
Oh, okay, cool.
Kind of an open-ended, but she promised you that it would not be anything dishonorable, nothing that would cause your family or you harm, and nothing that would be considered criminal.
All right. Good deal.
In fact, you get the feeling maybe she doesn't have a specific favor in mind at the moment, but
awesome.
So cool, sweet, cool.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Indeed.
Indeed. Every time I say indeed, I always think of Teal'c.
Teal'c, yes. He says indeed. I think somebody counted it up, something like 180 times in the show or something like that.
Gotta be more than that, because he says it like 3 times a
well,
show.
I know, and it's 10 seasons, so
yeah, he has to say it more than that. But I mean, maybe it is. That's still a lot, but I feel like it's more. This man says it like it's a prayer.
It's like the I don't know if you guys remember the commercials with the Tootsie Pop. You know, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Yeah.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Chiasa? Well, I think we will find out.
That would be on the Patreon side of the videos.
Subscribe. Subscribe for more details. We're gonna paywall.
That's when I have to. Yeah, that's when I have to type everything up, and I'll just read.
That's a private session between me and you, and oh man, we're gonna get to know each other real well, David.
No. No, that's a solo read. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm a pretty good voice actor, so I mean, I can definitely do that. I'm heated. So I guess, afterwards, I would be kind of having some idle cutesy chit chat with him. Is he like the finished and just gets dressed immediately kind of guy, or what's he doing?
No.
Oh, so he's laying there with me. Should we just did it on the table?
Probably over into probably started there and then
he took me for a ride. And I took him for a ride too. Chiasa's pretty agile. Anyways, so I would be like having some chit chat with him, telling him about myself and a little bit of my story and my upbringing and all the crap I went through, and then I would be asking him about his life and what brought him to this, basically.
Yep. Well, you find out, at least what he tells you, is that his family, his parents were both Yakuza. So it was not that it was absolutely determined that he was going to be a Yakuza, but that's what he wanted. And he said it's because he says there are relatives, sure. He says, I have an actual sister. My parents, me, a grandfather, my sister. He says, but we are the Yakuza here. He says, I know others function differently, but here we're a family. He says, so I have over 30 brothers and sisters now.
Oh.
So he says that's one of the things that attracted me. He says you have your temple with your fellow Sohei and you share something. He says, but I have over 30 brothers and sisters, and we've all bled for each other. We would die for each other, and we will kill for each other if need be.
Chiasa basically like holds on to him because she's really teary-eyed right now and like starry over him right now, because this is like almost the same equation of her life and his life kind of thing, just on a slightly different upbringing, but like it almost feels very like it hits home for her. So she's really feeling a connection with this guy. So she would ask him, like, is he really just doing it for the money, coming with her, and how much would it be if so? Kind of probing him a little bit to see if that's what his end goal is.
He says because you're asking him as one of the Yakuza brothers. He has to charge you something, but he's not going to charge you and your temple nearly as much as he probably otherwise would for something that's going to be he says it's like 40 miles away, so
Yeah.
He says it's quite outside our normal our operations, but he says this is a little different because it's going to be with somebody who's a little closer to me than most others. So he shrugs. So yeah, I'm going to help. He says, and then I can assess things, and if need be, he says we've hired out a few brothers and sisters as bodyguards before. So
Shasa's planning the wedding in her head already.
he says now. He says Arimono may come with us. He says you may have guessed she is my actual sister.
Oh,
so and she
coming? Can we maybe have one of the? Can we maybe have that not as tasteful, hefty gentleman up front instead? It'd be a little.
He says
awkward.
You don't want my sister.
I mean, I'm all for meeting more of your family, and indeed a closer family member. I just think it might be a slight bit awkward, perhaps, maybe.
He chuckles. He says,
well, I think one of the important things is you'd probably want her to like you. And I would like you to like her.
Oh, you would now. And she gives her little side eye again. And she says, and she shakes her head. She's like, "Oh God, you have me so entranced." And she rubs his peck. So she's just I do have to before we do anything else. I do have to go across town to speak with some man. Apparently, he has the ability to communicate with my master, and I need to send them a message to give them a fair warning before something bad might happen.
This is all right. That's understandable. He says, I have some preparations for the festival tonight, but he says, come to the gambling hall. And the gambling hall, which you guys remember, that's where you were, the big one, the big gambling house, basically a casino, which is you guys were there when you saw the Bakemono Baisetsu, and you guys scrambled up there, and Shing flew up there with the fiery wings. So yeah, You guys were by that the big gambling hall. So
yeah, we watched someone come out of there.
Yeah, he says I'll be at the gambling hall.
I say, very well. I will meet you there later. Should I perhaps dress a little more formal?
He says, well, yeah. Why don't you? He says, I will. Well, he kind of looks down. He says, I'll actually be dressed a little more formally too. So yeah. So you get to see tattoos on him that most people would not.
Hey.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, he has the tattoos on his his neck, chest, back, and arms all the way down to the backs of his hands. But he also has, which other people would not see, he has tattoos on his the outside of his thighs and the back of his calves. Not his ass yet.
Yeah, his ass isn't tattooed yet.
Not yet, but that does happen with Yakuza.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at a certain point, they're usually they'll be tattooed from about just under their chin all the way down to the tops of their feet.
All right. So she pulls herself away and she pinches him on the butt, and she says, "All right, well, I will see you later."
He says, "I look forward to
it." She nods, and then she. Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, he does say, well, he sits up, then stands up in his full glory, and he says, I will say, today is not like what I thought it was going to turn out to be, but He says, "Have a girl with a tail. I'm fine with that."
And she says to him as she gets up and puts on her clothes real quick, and she turns back over to him and she says, "If you think that was fun, you should just wait until later." And then winks and then walks out of the room.
Okay, which is funny. She's going to have to learn stuff really quick since she's she's not that experienced.
Oh yeah.
Unless she is. I don't know what her background is.
She's a rat. She's feral. These tactics. Well, I'm guessing she could probably go and learn from the. Now I know she's not the madam of a house, but she might have some advice to give to Chiasa. So I might
Mistress
go talk to her.
Noriko?
Yes, I think I'm gonna go talk to Mistress Noriko about the ways of love.
Yeah. Ways? Yeah.
Ways.
Okay.
Ways of love.
All right, so you'll be busy doing that for a little while.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go grab food for this guy, like the best food I think I can find, however much that would be, and then I'm gonna go do that. So those are the 3 things I want to do. So whatever Tristan, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Let's say you spend about probably 10 tail on food.
Okay. That is not as much as I thought. I thought I was going to be like getting some kind of gold encrusted steak or something. This dude, he can cast magic best when he eats money.
Shing. So learning the conjure. So the polymorph takes about an hour, and then the monster summon 4 that'll take about another hour or 2 actually. So,
all right.
And then most likely you practice it so that she's certain that you understand it, and probably has you cast the polymorph spell too. That one she has you. She takes you down that darkened hallway, and you step through the darkness, and then when you come out, you're in a courtyard. Now, from the size of the house, it's only about 30 feet on a side. The courtyard itself is at least 40 feet on a side, 40 feet square on each side.
Dang.
So, or comes out to, 40 feet by 40 feet. No, we're not going to. Anyway, 40 feet on a side. So it's definitely larger on the inside than it is on the outside. But she has you transform a bird into a snail.
Nice.
And she says it will remain that way unless you utilize a dispel magic on it, or you can voluntarily just let it go. But someone else would have to use either a dispel magic, or she says this is dangerous at times. If you cast a polymorph spell on a shapeshifter, like a dragon that can turn into, they can just transform back. So, forcibly shape-shifting a shapeshifter will only mess them up for about a minute.
Okay.
That's it.
Wow.
So, they will just change on their own again, and then so don't even bother. Hingyokai, dragons, and some other creatures can get themselves out of it, and of course sometimes other Wujin, and Shugenja. So, but otherwise, other people like samurai, bushi, a lot of other monsters, you turn them into whatever, and they will stay that way. The other thing is there is a chance that when you polymorph a creature into something else, and she says, so be careful, even if you transform a friend into something like, you want to transform them into a horse for, so that you can get somewhere faster. So you jump on your friend's back as a horse. And the things that when you polymorph them, their equipment and everything kind of transforms with them. It's kind of sitting there in a little extra dimensional space. But there's a very small chance, but there is a chance that when you transform someone into something, if they stay that way for an extended period of time, there is a chance that their mentality will eventually shift to whatever it is whatever shape they're in.
Dang.
So, like I said, not super common, but if you turn someone into a horse and left them that way for a month, they next time you come back, they may just be a horse, and the person you know is gone. So you have to be careful that way too. Not really a big deal if you polymorph someone you despise and you turn them into a snail and they just become a snail. You're like, okay, good. The big bad guy is a snail, but it could also just be a really evil, snail that still has their intelligence. But yeah, usually the more drastic the change, the more likely it is the person is going to get messed up. Like if you turn a person into a shrub, it's far more likely they're just going to be a shrub.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, that's kind of how that works. So there are some side effects to the polymorph spell.
All right.
Oh, and generally when you polymorph someone, they usually they get at least this not magic. Like if you transform someone into a dragon, they're not going to be able to suddenly cast magic the same way dragons cast magic, but they will have the other things. So if they have a breath weapon, claw attack, bite, and basic supernatural abilities, like being able to see in the dark, things like that.
Okay.
So sometimes doing a polymorph other on a companion, which could mean Chiasa, means there could be an advantage to it. Yeah. So yeah, if you became a big, like a big carp dragon or a lion dragon, there's all kinds of different dragons, and they function a little. You guys would have to look some stuff up, but dragons, they're not the same as normal D&D dragons here in OA. So,
All right.
But either way, dragons. It doesn't matter what game system you're talking about or which world, dragons they're badasses. So, but there's all kinds of other things too. There's unicorns and phoenixes and just all kinds of stuff in OA that are useful. So hell, you could polymorph someone into an Oni.
That would be insane. But very impressive. Impressive. Most impressive. You turned him gay. No.
So, but yes, despite some of the things you were told, yes, Mistress Kiku seems to be fairly amicable.
Awesome. I don't think I have much else to do there. When I'm done, I will either help or prepare with Atsutada for, I believe, there to be a festival sometime.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're going to hang out with Frittata?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. I'm going to be honest, David. I don't think we're going to get to the other game tonight.
Yeah, probably not.
That's okay. We'll do that next week.
Yeah.
Are
we, by the way, real quick, are we playing Thursday or next Sunday?
I could do Thursday.
I could be convinced to do Thursday.
Or both.
Possibly both. I just don't want to get too burnt out because we're hanging out on Tuesday. We have my game on Wednesday, then David's, then another one on Sunday. I could probably do that, but it's like having the last week.
Friday? No. This Friday we don't have one. This Friday is Brian's game.
I know. That's what I was going to say.
And I don't know what you mean about being burnt out. So.
Tristan, shut up. You'll casually play like every single night. I know, and it is fun, and I'm not complaining. I could do it though.
I complain about it a lot.
Yeah, I know.
And then I do it anyway. Let's go.
Ooh, so Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine either way. So if you want to wait until Sunday, I'm cool with waiting. If you want a night off, Jasper, from doing the RPGs, that's cool. But if you want to play a little bit on Thursday night, that's cool too. So
I want to play with a big dog. I'm very happy with this goblin that I'm creating.
I'm so excited.
Tristan's very proud of his as well. So yeah,
It's gonna be a fun game.
It's gonna be a good game. So I'm traveling through. I go to talk to. What is her name again? I'm just gonna write it down. I keep forgetting her name.
Madam.
Her who? Oh, Noriko. Noriko. Noriko.
Noriko.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Noriko.
Yeah, most people call her either Mistress Noriko, but all the geisha there call her Mother Noriko.
I'm going to call her Mama Noriko.
Big Mama.
I'm going to call it
Big Mama. No.
I'm going to say, oh, hello, Mama Noriko.
Well, you end up having to wait about half an hour before you can get in to speak to her. But when you do, yeah, so you go up to that room where you threw the skin and the wig down. So you go up to that's her personal tea room and in meditation. But you go in there and she says, yeah, she welcomes you and she says, I'm glad that you came. I'm able to thank you in person again for rooting out. She says, Lady Umako. Then she stops and then she just says, Umako. As she leaves out the lady. She says, Umako, she used us. She lived with us for months.
I say, yes, she surely would have killed you and taken your skin.
She says, is that what she was, or was she something else underneath?
I was a bit misunderstanding of how she worked creature-wise. She was more than she appeared to be, but I was a bit assumptive about stealing and using skins. I mean, she definitely could, but she wasn't wearing someone else's skin at that time.
Worse. She looked like
yokai
can look just like us.
Oh, we lost you. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, she says that's much worse that a yokai could look like us.
Yes. And still be able to act like she's all that. Anyways, so I have questions.
It's like, yeah, that's in the past. You have other shit you want to know.
Yeah, I have a very short time window. I apologize.
Well, she says, yeah, whatever. I will help you. What do you wish to know?
I had a very surprising event happen, and I am now, for lack of a better term, mating with someone, and I would like to know the best methods of doing so. Please.
Well, her eyebrows lift a little. She says, you need advice.
Absolutely, Mama Noriko.
Well, so she pulls out a scroll for you. Yeah, she goes out of a trunk. She pulls a scroll out and she unrolls it a little bit. And you see on this rod, there's a few different scrolls. She pulls 2 of them loose and hands them to you. She says, this has some information for you. And then she proceeds to tell you a number of other things over the next about hour.
Okay.
Finding out what you already know, telling you some new stuff, telling you some techniques.
Fantastic. So if I were to ask for this scroll, would this be a scroll of sexual feats?
Probably, yeah.
I'd say yes. I'm pretty sure.
One of them is just the basic stuff that you need to know. So
I say, might I have that?
yeah, she gives you the 2 scrolls.
Ooh, I say, oh, thank you. These will be useful for me, but I'm pretty sure I know of a couple brother monks at the temple who might also appreciate this literature.
She says, well, she frowns and she says, generally that is only for a woman, but if you want, and then she lifts her eyebrows, unless of course you want them to know some things that could be helpful for whomever they're with, I suppose.
No. I suppose maybe I'll keep these to myself. And I bow to her and I say, thank you very much.
Well, she says, for what you did for us, if you need any more advice or you have questions, feel free to come back.
I say, I actually might be in need of assistance. And
How so? She asks.
Yeah, I begin to explain to her the situation, very lightly, not giving her too much detail. And I say,
Right.
I might be in need of some outsiders' help for my temple because I could use some outside eyes, who might be able to prospectively give their opinion on maybe what's happening. So I invite her on a little trip down to our region.
Well, that one. Mistress Noriko will decline because she's.
We're losing you.
Oh, okay. So I was mucking with the phone there. So can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Mistress Noriko declines. She says that she has to take care of the girls here. But if someone wanted to buy the contract of one of the girls, then one of them could help.
Yes,
if need be.
I would like to buy the contract of one of the girls who's probably would be most excited about getting away from here. Not to say anything negative about what you do, but just someone who may not fit with the status quo of your house.
Yes. She says, come back this evening, and I will introduce you to someone, and I have one in mind, and we will see how the two of you get along.
Okay.
And then you can explain to her her duties, what you would want from her, and then the two of you may discuss it.
Okay. I bow to her and I say, then I will see you later.
As well. Be well today, Chiasa.
And I bow and I leave with my newfound sexual prowess, and I head over to find some food and go to the other guy.
Go to the gambling house? Okay.
Well, I go to get the food, and then I go to talk to the man who can send the message.
Oh, that's right. The bird man. All right.
Oh, he's a bird man?
No. That Master Shozo called him a bird man. Yeah, because he uses birds.
Yes.
So, yeah. No, he is not a bird man.
Yeah, I paid for the food already, so yeah.
All right. Well, what are you doing, Xing?
I'm either going to help Atsutada, or Frittata rather, prepare for the festival that I heard about,
Okay. All right. All right. Well, so getting some decorations up, and as a number of people are starting to, despite the rain, they are still putting up at least some of the decorations and getting prepared for it. And since this time of year they're accustomed to the rain, there are a lot of the celebrations will be inside of homes and other buildings, though. So, what? Yeah, that will take a few hours to do some of the prep for the festival.
All right.
Can I say I run into him? Would that be a possibility since we're both kind of traveling around on the street?
Especially if you kind of are doing a vague looking for him. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You find one of the buildings where it's going to be taking place is almost like a here in the Shadow District. They have a market, and they call it the Shadow Market. Not that it's they're not selling anything bad or anything like that. It's just called the Shadow Market because it's inside of a large building. So you have an area where a lot of people can set up stalls, things like that. But right now, it's being set up, for a little parade to go through here, and so people can be drinking and eating and those sorts of things. So yeah, not a problem. Right now, Xing, you would be helping to. I just broke the latch on my phone here. Okay. So it has the little, so I can stand it up. Well, it broke off. Anyway, so Xing is helping to, using like the 0 level mage hand, helping to hang things. So since you can just do that all day long.
Hey.
So, but yeah, Chiesa, you see Xing is helping, and there are some kids who are really amused with Xing using magic like that.
Tristan, does your mage hand look like a Buddhist palm?
Like a Buddhist palm?
Yeah, like a Buddhist palm.
Not what? Like, what do you mean? Like
the flat palm.
Can it grab stuff?
I don't know.
A mage hand. It essentially it's like a semi-visible force. It can look like what you want it to, pretty much, but it's a hand, and you can manipulate or carry up to 5 pounds worth of weight.
Does it look like a cartoon?
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's a Buddha palm that can't grab stuff, then no, it doesn't look like a Buddha palm.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what it would look like.
Like it's not gonna be a palm the whole time.
Well, yeah, no. It fits things between the fingers, I guess.
What? Like what? Paper?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. What would it look like?
A spectral hand is what it looks like.
No. Like, what's its color and like energy?
Red, obviously.
Ooh, it's a red hand. Okay, with his red right hand. Okay. Okay. All right. So I see you fiddling with your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, "Oh, Xing."
Hello, Chiesa.
I say, how has your day been?
It has been fantastic.
Very good. And I'm just overly smiling a bunch.
Yeah.
Like smiling.
Yeah.
You've never seen me smile this much.
Yeah. You appear to be having a wonderful day as well.
Yeah. It's been informative, I will say that.
On that we can agree.
Oh yeah. I learned some really good lessons today.
I nod.
It's like two different perspectives. Like you actually learn something magical. I say, I'm sending a message to my master, and then I was going to be attending to a couple things. What are you doing for the rest of your day?
I'm preparing. I'm helping to prepare for the festival.
Oh, interesting. You do like to do a lot of manual labor for someone of your status.
As I'm waving my, like, controlling my mage hand, doing everything. Manual labor, huh?
Hanging some
Yeah.
streamer.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I would. You surprise me always, Shing, and that's why I like you.
Oh, well, thank you, Chasa. That is the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Well, better get used to it. And I still overly smiling, acting weird.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah, it's almost like Chiasa, like someone cast a charm spell on her or something like a generic charm spell. So she's been charmed by everyone because you've never seen her in this kind of mood.
She's been charmed by the nail.
As she's walking away, I'm casting, like, detect magic while I'm looking at her.
Yeah, nothing untoward. You don't see anything. Not detecting any enchantments or ensorcelments on her.
Just, she's having a really good day.
They say, "See you later."
Goodbye.
Yeah, normally her goodbye would just be a little, and then that's
Yeah.
Yeah. She just hits at you, kind of in her wrath way.
I wonder what spell she learned.
She learned some spells from the low.
It's like in college, one of our professors, Dr. Rachel Singh Perwala, and I remember in class. Let's see, which one was it? Was it ethics? No, it was critical. No, it was ethics. It was my first ethics class. I was an undergraduate, and she wrote on the board organism, right? And it was near the end of the term, and we were talking about because she was vegetarian, and anyway, she was really interested because she was curious, how people talk, people who are vegetarians, vegans, meat eaters, etc. And they're, because there is an ethical component to it, and so, or some people look at it as an ethical component, and she was asking about that. So anyway, she wrote organism up on the board. Well, she did not write organism. She thought she wrote organism. So you can guess what word she wrote. And so a couple of people started chuckling. I was just sitting there just kind of taking some notes from something she had said. And I looked up when I heard a couple of chuckles, and I was like, I mean, I was like 30 years old, but I was still kind of chuckling about it. And finally, one of the girls up front, she pointed at it, and Rachel, I call her Rachel because I took enough classes, and after a while, and when you become a grad student, then you're on first name basis with the professors. But anyway, so Rachel turns around and she looked at it, and then she went, "Oh," and then changed it from orgasm to organism. So. But yeah, that it's when you're an instructor, you have to assume that at some point you're going to do something or say something or show something a little embarrassing.
Yeah,
like our Professor Robelo, Spanish class, had been in the classroom before her. Must have taken the Google Safe Search off. so she was looking at something, and she had the projector on, so she's looking, and she was doing something while she was typing it in, and it wasn't like immediately obvious, but there was a little picture in the lower right, and one of the students was like, "Hey, you might want to put the Safe Search on, Professor." And it's because it was like, there were some obvious boobs, and so yeah, you just have to assume if you're going to be in front of a class that you're going to say or do or show something that you don't mean to at some point. So, but if you can get through that embarrassment, then you're okay.
Nice.
So anyway, so yes, so you've learned about organisms. Um, yeah, it's not too difficult finding the one block in the Shadow District that has a number of buildings that have been burnt out, or at least partially. And your sharp ears do pick up the sounds of a number of pigeons. And after a little bit, not just pigeons, but some other birds as well.
Okay, I proceed.
Um, yeah, you do see after when you start kind of poking around one of the buildings, you see a man steps out. He's very tall. You're guessing he's probably about 6'6" and very thin. Almost. Well, you would definitely say gaunt. He's actually wearing a breastplate. Or looks like he's wearing a couple of pieces from some Oyore armor. But not the full set. But his chest is covered, and his left leg, he has short hair cut to just a little bit below his jawline. A homely individual with a hooked nose, probably a larger than normal Adam's apple, and like when I say a hooked nose, I mean this dude has almost a beak. So
Damn.
when Shozo said Birdman, now you're like, oh, I can see it. Not just that he deals with birds, but he looks like, his face almost has that. His face is narrow. He looks like he's probably, he could be anywhere from mid-40s to 60. You're not sure. But anyway,
he's full animated Ichabod Crane.
There you go.
Or the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, he steps out of one of the buildings, and then he's just staring at you. He looks you up and down. What do you want?
I say, I have food for you in return for your services.
Well, food. You're trying to poison me?
No, a friend of mine suggested that I specify it's Master Shozo that suggested that I bring him food in return for sending a message to my master in a most urgent sense.
So the fat old guy wants me to send a message, or told you that I would send a message for you to some other old guy for some food.
Yes. A very premium food, I might add. And I had this lid on this tray or something, and I open it up, and it's just some beautiful, like, gourmet food.
It's probably, like a really nice bento box.
Oh yeah, it's like a fancy ass bento box. That actually has like the bamboo wood lid, and it's like bamboo wood tray. It's got a nice it's almost looks like it's been marbled.
Yeah. Well, he looks at it. He his nostrils flares. He's obviously smelling it, and he holds his hand out.
I say, do we have an agreement?
Where do you need this message to go?
I need it to go to my temple at Tetsunoki, and I need it to reach Master. And it's Master Togama, right?
Yes.
Yes, I needed to reach Master Togama with haste.
Probably a raven then. And going over that forest, better than a pigeon. Well, he takes the box from you. He sniffs it. He says, I don't like red peppers. Well, he turns the box upside down, and the food drops out onto the ground. Then you see he squats down and he starts picking out the little bits of bell pepper from it and flicking them off to the side. And then he just starts eating barehanded off the ground.
I see you prefer finger food. So, will you send the message?
Write your message on a piece of parchment. No thicker than 2 fingers and no longer than your forearm.
I had practice earlier. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna use one of my small paper. I'm sorry. I'm gonna use one of my small paper blessings that I have. That should be about the right size.
Okay.
It's just a sheet. It's just a sheet big enough that I can write on it.
Right.
So I use that. I write the message out, and basically I'm gonna say on there, because I know it's not going to be an unlimited amount of space, and I'm writing in Rokugani, which is basically like Cantonese, Japanese. So I'm going to write. There is I have been warned. There is a traitor amongst us at the temple, heading back soon. Please keep to self and be vigilant. And then I write like an insignia that tells him that it is me that sent it.
Okay. All right then.
And then I close it up and I write his name across the other side of it, so that way when it's unrolled it says
Right, yeah.
Master Togama.
All right. Well then, by the time you're finished reading that, the Birdman, who is not giving you his name, he seems to be mostly finished with the food on the ground. He's licking his fingers clean, and he says, "You have it?"
I say yes, and then I have it in my hands, and I have it rolled up. And I also have 20 tail.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to hand both of those in one motion to him.
Well, he takes the paper, but he looks at the tail and says, "What's that?"
Money for more finger foods.
Don't need it.
I say, it might be useful to feed your birds, though.
I don't need money for that. He's just giving you a kind of a his expression is that of someone who's eaten something sour, but he's just looking at you.
Okay. I say.
Then he lets out a high pitched whistle, and a moment later, from out of the building, a raven comes flying out and lands on his shoulder. So it's it's a good sized bird. The blue black feathers and beak. He looks at you, and while he's taking the paper, he's wrapping it around the raven's leg, ties it with a little thread that he had somewhere in a pocket, and then he says, "All right, you, in your mind, very clearly think of the person that you want to send the message to."
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use my strength of mind, because I believe I have that feat. I'm going to use that, and my knowledge. Can I use my knowledge religion as a roll to concentrate in my head to get an exact image of Master Togama?
Knowledge religion would not help in this regard. This is more of this is more just like a memory issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need to roll for that?
Yeah, do that.
Okay. What modifiers would I use?
Will be your intelligence modifier.
Shit. 12.
Okay. Well, you see the Birdman. He has his eyes almost closed as he's stroking the feathers of the raven with one hand,
Perfect.
and he has his other hand held out actually toward you. The palm aimed at you, almost in the same way that Xing cast his offensive spells.
Oh.
As if he's going to shoot something out of his palm, but his hand is just held towards you, palm towards you. He says, "Are you thinking of who you want to send this to?"
I say yes, my master.
All right. This master's name, Togama, you said?
Yes.
Master Togama. He says it 5 times, Master Togama. And then finally the raven lets out a squawk, and the Birdman, his eyes open, and the raven takes off. Roll a d20, by the way.
13.
Okay. I know what your skill is that is good for this. So, okay. When he opens his eyes, for just a moment, his eyes look to be solid gray, and the irises, very, very small around a pupil, have this olive green color.
Mm.
And then they go back to just being normal dark brown eyes.
Okay. And I say, you're a gifted one as well.
What do you mean?
I have a friend who has powers like yours.
I doubt that. Maybe you're just seeing things. Anyway, unless you need something else,
yes.
I have things to get to.
One last thing. Do you see what your birds see?
I mean, sometimes. Depends on perspective. I don't fly.
No, but can you see through their eyes?
How would someone do that?
I'm not sure. I just thought,
well, he looked at you,
since you're so powerful, maybe you would be able to.
He says, "Powerful. I send birds. I feed birds. I train birds, and I send them to do things. Can you see through the eyes of a rat?"
Depends on if someone wants to get bitten, like as if by a rat.
He says, "Well, then I guess you understand how your question sounded to me."
And I kiss
Have
him
a good day.
Bit.
Well, he just turns and walks back into the building.
All right, I walk away. He's trying to spoil her mood, so she just walks away. Dick. She says that under her breath. Dick. And so she proceeds on to go basically buy a new kimono since she ruined her other one.
Oh yeah, rip the sleeves off.
Yeah, she ripped the sleeves off to be all badass and then tore the whole thing off.
Yep.
And this time she will not be wearing her garb underneath. She's gonna look for some fancy stuff to wear underneath.
Gonna be a lady.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
All right. She's gonna go get cleaned up, so she's gonna like have a bath and you know, like get her mane combed and stuff, you know.
Yep.
However much that would be for all that.
Let's see, for the full on bath.
For the full mani-pedi.
Yeah. Well, let's say that the you don't have to wear shoes in the same way, so that's good. You don't have to bother with sandals and socks. But the kimono,
all the accoutrements that go with that. Let's say 6 chien.
Damn.
But think about it. Your character is going to be cleaned, perfumed. You will have
Okay.
the it's not just going to be the kimono. It's going to be a kimono, a fan. The belt, the hair sticks. All
How
of it.
much is? Well, I have 2 magical hair sticks I'm going to use. Does that give me a price break?
Half a chien. Yeah.
Okay, so I need 5.5 chien. I only have 3. Now how much does that entail?
Oh, hold on.
I promise I'm not going to drag this out much longer, Tristan. I just
Fine.
want her to look pretty, dude.
That's
Like, she
good.
deserves to have a nice night on the town. She
For sure.
she grew up being beaten and suffered, and now she finally met a nice guy.
And from the DM's point of view, how can I screw that up? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Money. Tail. Okay. 10 tail equal 1 chien.
Oh, that's not that much then. So how much would I for spending that in tail? How much do I need then?
That would be 55 tail.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm going to do that. I have plenty. Okay, I do that.
Okay.
I'm going to go gorgeous. I do that, and then I go... So, in the sequence of things, because I don't want to take up too much more of this time with that, would I go to the party first? Would that be the most logical thing? Or would I go talk to the girl who I'm having basically become... like?
Probably go to the party first. The festival is going to start before dinner. Mistress Noriko told you to come back that evening.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the party and meet up with Shing after I'm all cleaned up. And then, yeah, like, how do I look, by the way? I must look fucking good. For a rat.
So yeah, when you show up, Shing, you at first you don't even recognize, and then you see, whoa, the rat head. So that's about all you recognize. But the kimono that she's wearing is definitely elevated her appearance.
I'm a little bit more busty than normal.
Yeah. Once we meet up, I'm gonna say, it appears I am not the only one who enjoys parties.
Well, typically I avoid them, but I am meeting someone.
But Shing's just like, huh?
I say, don't gawk.
We're meeting people all the time. I don't know what are you talking about?
This is a different kind of meeting someone, Shing.
Yes, of course. Shing just kind of looks off. Yes, of course it is.
Do I spot AG from where we are?
Yes, it doesn't take too long before you see him. And this time, when you see him, he's wearing a yellow silk shirt like before, but it's a different one. But still yellow. But this one has white and silver along the hem and trim, and underneath you can tell he's wearing a silvery white shirt underneath. Nice buttons. The
his sandals and the tabby socks and yeah, he looks more like a samurai than a yakuza at the moment.
Ooh.
Yeah, he has, instead of his hair being all down, now he has most of his hair is up in a nice top knot. There's a few strands that hang down though on either side of his face to, around his ears to probably his little way of being rebellious in the having the hair up. But he's clean shaven and looking quite nice.
Mm.
In the West, we would say looking quite dapper.
Ooh. I say to Xing, I say, I managed to get us some help. So I'm actually meeting up with that person for that.
What did we need help with?
I just have this burning feeling that something bad's gonna happen when we go home.
Interesting.
And I don't mean the burning from your arms.
All right. Well, I will try to enjoy myself as much as you are.
I don't know if that's possible for you.
Xing just thinks very suspicious.
I say, but I will say, here shortly after the festivities have begun, you should meet me at Mama Noriko's place, as we will have possibly a new traveling companion.
Very well. Will you remind me where that is?
Yes, and I point to that side of town where that is, like literally where we came from the day before. It's like right down the street right there kind of thing.
Just a couple of blocks over.
It's like a couple blocks down. We ran on the roofs and stuff. I walked to the street by there and everything. I point over there and I was just like, Xing, it's right over there.
I squint.
You really couldn't
squint really
see
hard.
much in your mask, could you?
I just squint really hard. Yes, right over there.
Are you gonna make Xing not know where it is?
Well, I don't know if he knows who you're talking about is.
Oh, I say the madam of the house. Remember the lady I threw the skin on the floor?
Yes.
I'm trying not to be too loud about that.
I say, and then I'd be like, yes, the skin suit.
I like hold up both my hands as if like I'm holding hair and a skin in it, and I say, "Ha." I say, all right, don't get yourself in trouble. And if you do, you might be able to find me. I don't know. I might disappear for a little while. And I go walking away and I say, toodles.
I just, very suspicious again.
And I make my way over to jump AG's bones.
So to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean,
you're in public right now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I can always take him somewhere else. So, yeah, she goes to meet up with AG.
Okay. All right. Well, so you kind of are on his arm for a while as he's providing. He's kind of the public face of the Yakuza tonight for the festival, and you're standing there when a few different people. So you actually get to hear some business as a couple of people come up to him and they're speaking and him, and it seems that really what he's doing is, and he's moving around speaking with different people too. His concern is, oh, how's your business going? Et cetera, et cetera. Just some little things here and there. And you find out that he loans money, but he doesn't do it like loan sharking. He just loans people whatever and then gets the same amount of money back.
So yeah, he doesn't charge interest basically on his loans, and then obviously there's some payment back in that, like some guy who has like a little noodle cart basically going around. Well, then he just gives out a couple of cups of noodles for free to a couple of the brothers and sisters each day, something like that. Just simple stuff. So yeah, you're finding out that the Yakuza, at least here in the entertainment district, and this particular family, they expand outward a little bit further than the entertainment district, but there's a little more than 30 of them. But it sounds as if they are genuinely really helpful to the people here.
All right. Yeah, no, I figured as much, but that just reinforces it. This man will be her husband. So guaranteed. All right. So she's just kind of hanging on his arm, having a good time, giving him googly eyes. I'm sure he's probably doing the same back.
Yep. At a certain point, remember the Arimono who had accompanied you guys down to the cavern to fight the yokai, the disgusting yokai lady down there. She comes over to you. She's dressed fairly nicely too, showing off her forearms a little more than what most people would, but she has the sleeves rolled up a little bit, and she's a sturdy, a strong woman. But anyway, she looks at the two of you, and she just she has her eyebrows lifted a little bit. She says, "Not exactly what I thought my brother." Oh, she just stops and shakes her head, and she says, leans over to you, Chiasa, and says, "He seems happy today. Just make certain he stays that way, all right?"
I say, well, earlier was just a primer.
Oh
I
my
wink at her.
Well, she blinks, and she actually looks a little surprised. She's like, "I'm not talking about that." She says, No. She says, "I just mean in general." She says, and then her cheeks actually turn a little red. You can see underneath her makeup even. And she just, her eyes are a little wide again. She says, "Well, I'll talk to you later."
I
AG.
say, but,
she walks off.
I say, wait. If you could do me a favor, I would like you to keep my friend, and I kind of point in the direction of Jing as he's like, I don't know, playing with dolls in the corner, and say if you could keep him company, I would be very appreciative.
Well, at the moment, you can see Xing is actually, there are two young women speaking with you, Xing.
Oh.
So he looks like a very eligible China Hut bachelor.
Yeah, there's there are a couple women who are speaking to you.
They're like, ooh, the way your porcelain glistens in the night. I could eat off of you all day.
Yeah, that's not how they phrase things.
That's how they'd phrase it for him.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, what are you doing during this?
One of them is asking you a lot of questions. A lot of, I guess, should say almost technical questions about yourself, like how do you function, and weird things like that. The other one is she's just speaking to you and asking you, if you've traveled anywhere, and she seems more interested in you as just as a person. The other one's more interested in you as more like an object,
an object that can talk.
The best part about this is not that I would lie about any of it, but I am just whatever they ask me, I tell them the truth.
Right. Just bam, telling them right as it is.
Uh-huh.
Yes, my penis does function. All I'm fully capable.
I mean, yes, it is made of porcelain, but
Yes, I will tell you the truth. You don't even have to nail me.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
And then I'll just do like Wujen party tricks while everyone's is celebrating.
Does the sister come over?
okay, cool. Yes, she does.
Ooh! Yo, we gotta hitch up with these two Yakuzas.
I'd shown you guys Arimono last week.
Yeah.
She's hot.
And it'd be funny if your characters married these two because they're actual brother and sister, then you'd almost be in-laws.
Wait, that's so weird.
This I know this is I'm gonna enjoy this party, but if we could wrap it up soon, I do have to go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, see, we were gonna go a different way, but got detailed in the before the turning level 7. I had stuff for afterwards, so but that's okay. Well, I think we can just say that everybody has a reasonably uneventful, pleasant late afternoon and evening at this festival.
Awesome.
Good food, music, company. In fact, only a couple of people who drink a little too much, but they are escorted calmly by the Yakuza to elsewhere to calm down. So, is there anything that you guys need to tell me about what your characters are doing in the meantime?
I don't think I do.
Yeah. I sneak off with AG and we get it on again, and then I'm gonna go over to after I clean myself up, I'm gonna go over to Madame Noriko's. I'm gonna go over to Madame Noriko's place and go meet this new girl who I'm buying, I guess.
Well, if I was going to meet him after the festival,
oh yeah, you're supposed to meet up with me. Yeah,
then I would go as well.
And I just kind of give AG, I like tell AG I'll be meeting up with him later, wink, and we'll be discussing traveling tomorrow.
Yeah.
Basically getting ourselves ready and prepped and leaving tomorrow.
Okay. Well, we'll do the next session. We'll do a little bit of the introduction for the one girl before we jump into your goblins.
Okay.
All right.
So you know where I'm kind of going with this, Tristan, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, we're recruiting people to help us out because like we've been doing pretty badass on our own, but I feel like if there's a major threat coming, it'd be nice to have a couple of people to like throw down with us in combat who won't stab us in the back. So it's nice to have a definitive ally.
Sure.
So this girl, since my thought, and you can correct me if this is going to be an incorrect kind of thing, my thought, Mr. David and Tristan, is that I'm helping her out of her whatever servitude that she might be in, or maybe an unhappy lifestyle. And in return for me doing this for her, she's going to come and become a member of the temple. And she's going to be either under my tutelage or the master's tutelage. I'm basically like she'll be like my Anakin to my Obi-Wan and hopefully won't kill me. Or try to kill me at least, and I don't have to like cut her legs off or some crazy shit.
Right in the mouth of a volcano.
Yeah, I mean, it's Oriental Adventures. It could still happen.
Yeah, there are 3 known volcanoes in Ryogo. So,
There's a lot of places it can happen.
yep.
So that's my thought pattern. Is I'm looking for like a little Sohei counterpart, and it's just a huge bonus that we have a couple of Yakuza coming along.
Yep.
And who knows? There could be wedding bells for Xing too.
Yeah.
You see, if your character wasn't such a baby man, like she would have absolutely probably tried to do something freaky with him.
Oh
But-
my god.
Yeah. she's like, it's not that she's modest, it's that she's tortured. She's very tortured as a person or whatever, you know. So she wasn't going to do anything like this, but like spur of the moment, just got done with a heavy battle, saved a bunch of people this time. And we're on a winning streak, so she's riding that high, dude.
All right.
Jing's like, more toys.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
showing
gonna
off
tell
my
mommy how well I did.
showing off my action figures.
Yeah. Hey, mom, Chiasa showed me some weird stuff, and you start play sex acting with your dolls. It's just like, is this
show me
normal?
where show me on the doll where she touched you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh. But no, that was fantastic. That was a fun
Yeah.
session.
I liked it.
Yes, thank you once again, Mr. David.
Thank you.
Appreciate you,
Yep.
Tristan.
Same.
You were. I could tell you were tired, so thank you for hanging in there, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
There was a lot of shit on my end. I know. It's just because like I was holding back. I was holding back last session. I just wanted to do so much and didn't want to eat up time. But yeah,
It's all good.
Thank you for letting me be selfish this time.
What?
and get my character laid.
Anytime.
I think actually, yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever gotten a character laid in D&D. Usually I
That's crazy.
just I know you're a bad boy. You do it all the time. You do it all the time.
Yeah, you gotta start trying harder.
Oh yeah, I know, right? I'm not trying hard enough. Hi everybody, this is Jables. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thanks to my DM at Uri Gray and my co-player at Tristan. They're fantastic guys. We had a great time and I hope you really enjoyed listening to us play. This is only one of many episodes upcoming as this is a long-running campaign. More content coming soon, more episodes, more fun. So please stay tuned, like, subscribe, please comment.